I'm Andrew from the Dad.io podcast. Life supplies the inputs and we supply the outputs. Part of the Gonna Geek Network, just like the show you're listening to now. Shows on the network are individually owned and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other fantastic and amazing geeky shows at GonnaGeekNetwork.com.
Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 358 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. This is recorded live on Sunday, April 28th, 2019, over at geeks.live. We have a full show for you guys today. Everyone's here. I'm Chris. Joining me as per normal, one, the only Willie D. Nelson.
Hey, that's me.
That is you. That is
It
you.
is me.
And
How's
of
it
course,
going, guys?
and of course, Anthony Bachman's here as well.
Or half Memorex. I'm not sure how live we are.
Well, I mean, the little blinking light is here on my display that says live, and the live feed is at 12:18. Oh, it's 12 minutes and 18, so never mind.
I had half a bottle of vodka and 4 hours of sleep. I'm a tape backup.
That sounds uncomfortable.
I'm not really here.
Oh, since we're doing that, can I call Max Headroom?
You can have whatever you want, Willie.
Only if you do the glitch.
2 million people. Anything I want, you say.
Well, I mean, you're going to have to acquire it somehow. It's not on me to do it.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I don't want to own 2 million people.
Yeah, but whatever it is you
Yeah.
want, it's on you to figure out how to do it. I'm just not facilitating it is what I'm meaning. You figure out what you want and you do it. It's all on you.
I don't want any prisoners with jobs. Jesus Christ, Chris.
Prisoners with jobs. What?
Isn't that what they said in Thor Ragnarok?
I don't remember. Maybe. We'll go with yes. Maybe. I don't know.
I think Bachman really is a recorder because he ain't piping in on Thor Ragnarok.
That had Hulk in it. I like Hulk.
Hulk good.
Hulk good. Hulk like a raging fire.
Hulk is the best character.
Hello, angry girl.
Well, technically in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I would say Kingpin is the best character from the Daredevil Netflix series.
It's so sad they're all gone.
I know, but he was Vincent D'Onofrio best.
He was fucking great in that role. He did such a good job.
The best character. Best villain, even including the movies.
My favorite villain is the Big Lebowski, a.k.a. Jeff Bridges.
Obadiah?
No, I'm just messing. I like Jeff Bridges.
Obadiah Stane.
I mean, I guess we have to wait for next week for what I want to say now.
Yeah, we got a lot of spoilers we're having to avoid this week because
It makes no sense. It's just
there's so many spoilers.
whatever. I gotta remember that for later.
Yes, so for those that are unaware, we follow our traditional practice here, which is the week a movie comes out, we do not talk spoilers.
But we are doing spoiler-free stuff, right?
We can have some spoiler-free stuff as we wrap things up today.
I foresee me being an outlier.
Though, if anything, Chris got closest to a spoiler already.
Oh yeah, definitely.
As Sailor
Chris
Colin
fucked
is talking in the chat room.
Oh, but that gives not a damn thing away. So just simmer down there, killer. It's completely out. If you know no context behind anything I just said there, you're perfectly fine.
Well, what Bachman said is also technically true because he said you came the closest to a spoiler.
Yeah.
I didn't say it was a spoiler. I said you came the closest so far.
And now you've illuminated that to people that haven't seen the movie yet.
I've
Good
been
job.
good about not saying anything that's even close to a spoiler.
Anything we say today could impossibly be a spoiler.
That's true.
An off-branded spoiler. Let's go with that.
I'm just happy I can go back on the internet again because I had concerns.
Oh, what was that one football player that fucked up big time?
Oh, LaShawn McCoy posted a bunch of
Don't look up anything he put on Twitter.
Yeah.
What? He put up like straight up spoilers?
Yep, on Thursday night too, wasn't it?
I think it was Thursday night. I don't know. I was at the movies when he did that. So
Wow, so he's a piece of shit.
yeah.
Who does he play for?
The Bills?
Oh, well,
Oh, I
no
saw
wonder
it.
he's not even a real fucking
Yep.
football player. Fuck him.
Oh yeah, he was Spoiler City.
What an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Look, there's some people that don't get it. I will say the places I went, I've seen it twice now. Both times I left the theater, everybody was respectful, did not say a word. The closest we got to being bad was me, who went with the old Simpsons joke as I'm walking out. Went, man, I can't believe Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father.
Yep.
That was about it.
No, I am your father. Fuck you, Mandela effect. He doesn't say, Luke, I'm your father.
I know.
Nope.
Everyone knows that.
Yeah, no, Mandela effect, people. Mandelia.
Sailor
What's the
Paul in the chat
Mandelia, yo?
room saying there was a car driving outside the theater with plot elements written on it. I told my buddy that car must be fast. It has 3 spoilers. Da-dun-ch.
All right, now. That sounds like a Willie grade joke there.
It does.
Willie's offended because he didn't think about it first.
Exactly.
He should have been on that shit.
Sailor Polar, you're my favorite guest right now.
So we'll talk. Excuse me. We'll talk Endgame stuff at the end of the show. We've kind of dodged around it. We'll give some initial impressions, stuff like.
Well, we're not gonna leave Endgames for this little intro because I'm not 100% on this if this story is true. But you hear about the guy? I think it was in Hong Kong getting his ass beat in front of the theater.
Yes, because he was spoiling people.
In front of the theater.
Yes, I saw it pop up on Reddit. I had not yet seen the movie, so I did not click on it because I was afraid of what the contents of it would be.
I'll look up afterward. Yeah, but
If it's true, good on those people that beat the shit out of him because that guy deserved it. If you literally watch a movie and then walk out and start yelling shit in front of the theater, ruining the movie for people in line for the theater, fuck you. You're an awful human being. You deserve an ass whooping.
all right, maybe we should just get on because I just want to talk about Avengers now. So let's just get on with the news so we get back to it. Jesus, because you're gonna have to keep me talking about it if we don't do this.
So what Willie's saying is he wants to transition on into our first segment, the news of the week.
Yeah.
Live from the ATGN studios on the internet, it's the news of the week.
Well, Willie, I feel bad because I'm going to make you wait even longer before we get to Avengers because we're going to save it for Anthony's news story, and he's going last in this series of news.
I don't even fucking remember what it was. You told me. I don't fucking remember shit.
So, Willie, the man who...
Willie memory bad.
So here's where it's going to get fun. I was going to ask Willie to do his news first. Do you remember your news, Willie?
Surprisingly, yes. And why? Because it was your news story.
I'm here to help.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I did have some other news. I did read the article, not just the headline for mine, but yours is better, and you want to go with something different. So I said, fuck it. If you ain't wanting, I'll take it. So, Nintendo swinging his big dick all around. More on that a little bit later on, too. Spoilers. Jesus Christ. Words and things. Yeah, Nintendo fucking up. They all but saying the 3DS is 3 deads. Oh, jeez. I gotta work on a better joke. Today's a bad day for my jokes. Brain, I'm gonna need you to kickstart an overdrive for something. I need some more of this. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, put some more of that caffeine in your head.
Put some Go Juice in you. You'll be okay.
I don't know what that means. What's Go Juice?
Coffee or energy drink or anything with caffeine that gets you
All right, let's
going.
finish off that mean bean. Let's go with this one now. The Starbucks Frappuccino. Caramel.
Ooh.
Yeah, so you hear that back there, 3DS on my counter right behind me? You're apparently dead to Nintendo. They don't want to see you no more.
Well, dead, but not really, because the interesting thing is, if you look at all the games they announced last year at this time, they announced a bunch of them, and then they announced none, but they're still selling the hardware.
Well, of course. They're never going to stop selling whatever they got.
Oh, but there's still a problem with their selling of the hardware.
They'll take your dollars.
They don't fucking include a goddamn charger for the goddamn system you buy.
So that alone is a solid reason not to buy it. That's
well, I bought
stupid.
it without knowing that. I was like, I got it because I was like, oh yeah, awesome. I was like, how do I charge this thing? Did we go back? Did the 3DS start taking batteries again? Did I miss something? Is it gonna be like 6 like the fucking Game Gear and eat through them like 2 hours?
No, you can get like 6 out of the Game Gear. You got an hour of battery that you put in it.
That's bullshit, and you know it.
It was closer to 4.5 to 5, honestly.
I'll give you that one. But 6, you can fuck right off with that. Starbucks, why are you so fucking hard to open? One-handed, at least. I am Bob Barkering this.
Do you need me to talk so you can set your mic down and open your coffee?
Bear fucker, do you need assistance? Yes, I do. You ever fucked a bear before?
Well, I don't know what you're referencing.
Super Troopers. Bear fucker,
Oh,
do you need assistance?
all
Yeah, so
I
we went from,
remember, all I remember is the opening scene around right meow.
well, that wasn't an opening scene at all. That was somewhere near the first third, like near the end of the first third.
It's literally the only part I remember. I saw the movie once and didn't like it. So
Yeah, so I mean, we went from Nintendo 3DS to bear fuckery. So add into your own shit in this, because I'm gonna open up this thing with my both hands. I need shit.
So while Willie's opening that, the writing's on the wall. Nintendo's kind of cannibalized their own market, which was kind of to be expected with the Switch because it kind of hits both the handheld and the console gaming itch, for lack of a better term. So it sort of makes sense. I mean, really, one of the final nails in the coffin should have been when they're making the next Pokemon game and it's not coming on the DS, it's coming to Switch. That's probably a sign they're about done with the DS.
yeah. If they're not putting whatever the new Pokemon game is on that system, they're done with that system.
I mean, just think about when's the last time they released a Pokemon game, a full-fledged Pokemon game, not for a handheld.
Never. I mean, does Pokemon Snap really count for N64 or Stadium? Because I don't think it does.
I'm talking about like a full-fledged Pokemon game, like like story mode.
Oh, they've
with
always been on
battling and a
handheld then.
Gym, exactly.
Yeah.
The closest you get, what was that GameCube one? Oh shit! But it wasn't like a full-fledged one because you could only catch certain, like you couldn't catch the whole Pokedex or something. It was like there was like dark versions, and I can't fucking remember the name. Gale of Darkness or something.
I have no
I'm gonna
idea.
do some
Sorry.
things with this. Hold on. I mean, you keep on going, but hold on.
Well, I didn't have any more on your news, Willie.
Well, all right, fine. I'll just rush this out by just keep saying a whole lot of stuff and things.
Well, he's just making noise with his face hole again.
I was right. Pokemon XD, Gale of Darkness.
I don't even remember it. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Gale of Darkness? That's a shitty title.
Well, I mean, Nintendo's not the best with the childing stuff. What's this thing? It's new Mario, so let's call it New Super Mario Brothers. Ooh.
Gale of Mario? What?
Did you say gay Mario?
No, I said Gale of Mario.
Oh, I'm about to say that's a hate crime.
What?
Calling him gay wouldn't be a hate crime. Calling him gay and then beating him up and calling him a homo while I do it would be a hate crime.
Well, to be also fair, do you guys remember the Super Mario Sunshine little thing?
Little thing.
The on the cover of Super Mario not Super Mario Sunshine, Super Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Galaxy.
Not off the top of my head.
Apparently there was like stars or something like that spotted out the characters on the wording of that spells out "you are gay."
I did
Nope.
not know that.
Yeah, it's a real thing. Look it up. I promise everything in the world to you.
It's just like how there was a penis on the cover of The Little Mermaid VHS at one point in time.
And also that preacher or the pastor, whatever, the guy marrying him also had a boner, apparently.
Yes, and in The Lion King, as the wind goes through the tundra or through the grass, it spells out sex. There's all sorts of hidden dirty things in Disney movies.
Well, that one has come out to be actually making sense. It was the special effects crew that did that, and it spells SFX for special effects, not sex. People add out an extra little line underneath the E, or for the F to the E. For some stupid reason. But yeah, that's the true story for that.
Fair enough. Little Mermaid does have some dirty stuff hidden in it, though. It's a true story.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't know that.
I mean, you have a character running around in a bra.
It was a bikini top. There's a difference, Willie. Not that I think there really is. I'll defer to others who would know better. Because it's not me. Damn, son, are you already done with that coffee almost?
Getting there. I got another one too.
Good Lord, you're gonna be on the coffee. You're gonna have caffeine shakes when we're done with this.
Well, I'm doing terribly on this show today, so this might make it a little bit better for the last half.
Until he strokes out.
You better have
Which-
2 more of those.
Or maybe for the last third, or will be all my good stuff. You know, kind of like my review of Avengers.
That's called a tease, everyone. He's teasing what he's going to have for you. All right, so let's move on to the next news story here.
Not the first time I've been called a tease.
All right, so let's move on to the next story like I was trying to say. There is a Commodore 64 modder out there by the name of Zero Page. Now, if you guys have been following some of the stuff that's been going on with the Commodore 64 Modders Club or whatever, you know that Zero Page has been working for the last 7 years to make a modified version of Super Mario Brothers that would run on a Commodore 64 PC.
Jesus Christ, since 2012?
Yeah, 7 years it says.
Holy
in
fuck
the
balls,
article
I
I'm
was still
reading.
married.
Well, why it's taken so long is it's no easy feat. According to the article at Extreme Tech, it has basically a processor that's 57% as powerful as the NES's processor. So there's some workarounds that have to be done, and implementing side-scrolling was a bit difficult when it came to putting that on the Commodore 64. But right now, it sadly doesn't matter so much because the PDX Commodore 64 Club posted on April 22nd, 2019, good times. Due to a DMCA takedown, we had to remove the Super Mario Bros. 64 download from our website blog post from 4 days ago. Hopefully everyone enjoys the Commodore 64 game who was able to snag it. So the mod that was out there to play a, 40 or 30-year-old game, 35-year-old game on the Commodore 64, Nintendo issued a takedown notice on. Now, I understand defending your IP, but is there really a big problem with people that are going to not buy your game because they can play it on their Commodore 64? This is just a cool programming project where someone took a game that's much beloved and made it work on a Commodore 64, and I don't understand what Nintendo's rationale is for issuing a takedown notice on this. They should have been like, hey, this is awesome, good job, or something like that, and gotten good press out of it. Instead, Nintendo does the same old shit again, which is there's a cool fan movement behind one of their games. They overly harshly defend their IP. I'm not saying it's not their right to do so, but they're a bit overly harsh in what they do and issue a takedown notice on something that maybe a couple thousand people were going to get to play, because let's be honest, how many people have a Commodore 64 anymore?
Well, now I might defend Nintendo here for a little bit. Well, with a question. Can you play that on a Commodore 64 emulator?
It does not say in here.
Because if then I could see a little bit more dry, but still, it's the original Super Mario Brothers. Come on now.
I mean, let's be honest though, if you really want to play Super Mario Brothers and not buy it, you could just go to Google and write in "play Super Mario Brothers."
Whoa,
and I'm
whoa,
sure
whoa,
you would
whoa,
find
whoa.
something.
Yeah, you could probably stream it from a website.
You could probably stream it from someone's website. You could download a ROM for it, things like that would play on your PC.
I'm not sure if it's still there, but can you still go to the PETA website and play their version of Super Mario Bros.
Yeah.
Saving things?
And let's be honest, it's not like this is Nintendo, like anybody of their corporate office that fucking makes, big decisions. This is one of their lawyers.
Yeah,
whose only job is to go out and do cease and desist notices.
It's obviously not a
all they
move
do.
to keep people from playing the game, because let's be honest, the install
Yeah.
base is small. It's there to basically send a message that is, hey, use our IP, we're going to take you down. And it just kind of goes in line with some other stuff we've seen on Nintendo of not really quite sure how to embrace some of the current fan movements of today. Because remember, they were making it so you were demonetized if you did Let's Play of Nintendo games and stuff like that, until they started taking a huge cut off the top of it and things like
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
Willie talked about that story probably a year or two ago, but yeah, if
I
you
don't
did a Let's
remember.
Play of, say, Let's Go Eevee or Let's Go Pikachu or something like that, you would either get your monetization taken away, or Nintendo would take a bigger chunk out of it.
They've never really been fan friendly when it comes to stuff like this. Nintendo's always been like hardcore lawyer up, defend the IP. Like it's like it hasn't really changed. Like they've
ain't
never
lying.
been fan friendly.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's where it's interesting, where you have the difference between, say, Nintendo and Sony and Microsoft, where they're like, yeah, you want to stream one of our games? Go for it. Throw it up on Twitch. Throw it up on YouTube, things like that. Whereas the Switch doesn't support live streaming, so maybe that's a bigger window into Nintendo's mindset on how it comes to sharing these games with others. Sharing the
Well,
experience of them, rather. Not sharing them, because no one else is actually playing.
Yeah. But I mean, like, look back in the day with Lucas, with Star Wars, when he allowed anybody to do anything in the Star Wars universe when he owned the IP. Like fan films, full on, video games and shit. Like tons of stuff was built around his universe, where he's like, let the fans rock it, build up the fucking fan base, which then it went toxic, but it got the fan base was huge. There was a cops version of stormtroopers. Like, how fucking crazy is that in a world where he could have shut that down any second? And he's like, no, this is hilarious. Have fun. Like, I made the Star Wars universe, but let the fans play in it. Nintendo could be like that. They're just not.
I mean, I guess I just don't understand the reasoning here. It's a Commodore 64 fan effort over 7 years. I understand, like I said, I understand defending your IP, but where's your win in shutting this down? I mean, you're not going to get any good press on this. Yes, and had they done this and nobody heard about it, they probably could have gotten away with it. But they have to realize that in today's internet age, there are a bunch of people that were passionate about this project, a small group of people, but they're a vocal group of people. So this article was all over.
Yeah.
It was on all sorts of tech blog sites. It was on Google News. It's been all over now that Nintendo just kind of came in and did this. Again, let me reiterate. They're within their rights to do this. I'm not saying, they can't do this. They can do it.
To the word of the law, legally they have to. That's the other thing too. If you're a lawyer working for Nintendo, by the law, if anybody uses your IP, you have to send them a cease and desist, or you have to sue them to defend your IP legally. That's the way the copyright shit's written. So yeah, they're within their right, and the way lawyers look at it, they have to do it. But the people who run Nintendo could tell the lawyers to back the fuck off and leave these kids alone because they're making a Commodore 64 version of a game that we haven't made money off of in fucking 60 years.
Oh, they still make money off of it, probably.
Off the original Mario Brothers?
I mean, probably. I mean, how it's probably nothing but pure profit. They sell it on anything right now.
Maybe. But yeah, it is a bit ridiculous. It's overkill from a massive corporation, but it's what big ass companies do. Stomp on the little guy. And his Commodore 60. Who the fuck's still making games with the Commodore 64?
Well, it's a passionate modder community and a fan brew community, for lack of a better term. So yeah, it's kind of disappointing.
People are having fun at our expense. Fuck off, pretty much.
Better put a stop to it.
Listen, Nintendo, stop trying to give yourself a rusty trombone. No one likes to see that.
Yeah.
If Francis, aka the other guy, did go to the Nintendo building on his tour of Japan this week that he's been posting on Instagram. He went and saw the original playing card building that Nintendo was based out of back when they made cards. Which I didn't realize originally they were a playing card company.
Yep, that was their start.
Yep, the 18-somethings.
Yeah, 1889. I didn't realize Nintendo was that old either. Like, holy shit. That company's been around a long goddamn time under that name.
And no one really cared about them till the 80s. The 1980s.
Yeah.
Not the 1880s, because, I mean, they did fucking playing cards.
Well, apparently there was, a couple people in Japan that cared about them because apparently they hung around, so they must have been selling some good playing cards.
I'm talking about the one country that does matter, America. Sorry.
Yeah, you shouldn't be.
I try.
It was a bit much.
This coffee's going to hit on it sometime. Let me open up this other one.
You keep saying that, but I ain't seen any proof yet.
Say what?
That coffee's going to hit and somehow help.
It's got to do something. My stomach's getting full.
I think at some point, Willie's just going to shit himself and cry.
Well, I think the bigger problem is you're drinking coffees that are like milk-based. So you're consuming a lot of milk product right now.
That's fair, but what makes you think I'm going to shit myself then cry? I think it's going to be the other way around.
He's going to cry and then
he's going to cry because he's afraid of pooing his pants. And then
because I always cry after I shit myself. That's why I was thinking that. I don't know your schedule.
Ooh, this Swiss chocolate Java monster. Oh, Jesus, it's delicious. Sponsorship. I'm your man. Come to me.
Sponsorship. We won't have them.
Not with that attitude.
So, Willie,
Nope.
we need you to, before we move off onto the next news story, we need you to rank your 3 different coffee drinks you've had. Place them in your order of least favorite to most favorite, because you've had 2 different monsters and a Frappuccino, right?
Yeah, the first one has to be the Starbucks Frappuccino. That's just fucking deliciously sweet. Just because I'm not 100% a chocolate fan, the Mean Bean, and then the Swiss chocolate.
So that was your order. Starbucks wins.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, this has been a quick diversion to Willie's over caffeination that he's about to have live on the internet. So while Willie's getting caffeinated, let's toss
Listen,
things over
whoa,
to-
hold on a second. No. Hold on a second. I drank so much soda as a kid. I don't think caffeine even really affects me anymore.
Well, I mean,
These don't really. We'll
do you
find
still
out.
drink so much soda? Because it'll go away, that effect, if you don't drink it.
Yeah, but then the headaches come in. I don't want to deal with that shit.
They're mean headaches.
You don't want a
I have-
caffeine detox?
I had to have my coffee every day. I have a pot of coffee every fucking day just to avoid those headaches.
So, Bachman, you can go ahead because I don't want to talk about this anymore. Chris, shut up.
So apparently we're on to my news of the week. We're done with the monster talk. All right.
No, done with drinking though. But you go on.
Here's in the leading news of news that's not news. Avengers made a lot of money this weekend.
Damn, I
But-
wasn't drinking. I was going to do a spit take.
But not just a lot of money, but all the money. According to Box Office Mojo, the title of the article is Avengers Endgame set for global domination. Can it deliver a $300 million domestic debut? As of the Saturday AM update by Brett Breivert, April 24th, with an estimated 156.7 million, Disney and Marvel's Avengers Endgame is off to an unheard of record-breaking start en route to what could be a $345 million plus 3-day opening. Thursday night, it delivered the largest Thursday night preview gross with 60 million. It's the film's first full day, is already the largest single day, opening day, and Friday, on top of being the fastest ever to 100 million, fastest to 150 million, and the widest opening of all time. So this movie opened in more theaters worldwide than any movie in the history of film. It had the biggest Thursday night, the biggest Friday, and it's looking like it's probably going to crack 300 million for its opening weekend. It made more money on Friday than most movies make in their entire run in the theaters. So yeah, it's just destroying shit. Let's see, where is it at? And the current market leaders are as follows. In China, it's at 217 million, UK 27 million, Korea 23 million, Australia 19, Germany 15, France 13, Italy 13, Brazil 12, Mexico 12, Philippines 10, India 9, Indonesia 7, Hong Kong 7. So it bit $7 million on just the island of Hong Kong, which is a very small island. Like, it's insane how much money this movie is making. And so, yeah, honestly, by the time Sunday rolls around, it's more than likely going to be the largest film in the history of film. And I'm wondering if the numbers are so big that it actually broke the Fantasy Movie League. Because right now, if you look at our numbers for the Fantasy Movie League, it says that in fourth place, somehow the movies I picked have made $899 million for the weekend so far. And though Avengers is making a lot of money, it hasn't made $1 billion yet. And so, yeah, the numbers are actually broken on the Fantasy Movie League because apparently something that's inputting data to their site is fucked up. And so it looks like everybody in our league got almost $1 billion worth of screen views this weekend. And so I can't trust any of the numbers because we know they're wrong. But yeah, it's insane how much money this movie is making. And honestly, I'm just going to say it's worth it. Like, it's 22 films into a franchise, and the Russos are better with a large cast of characters than possibly any director in history. Like, they did such a good job putting together a film and hitting so many points that it's insane. But yeah, Avengers is going to break all the records. It's going to get all the money. And most people that actually care about the characters are going to cry at least once during the film, but then leave happy. Like, I left the theater like in shock, in awe, but also very happy with how they wrapped a lot of shit up. Like, it was so fucking good.
Are we leading into spoiler talk?
No spoilers. Week 1, no spoilers. But yeah, I'd say it's like a 9 out of 10. It's almost a perfect film. It's not Iron Man, but it's close. Iron Man was a perfect film. When it came out, redoing an origin story from Vietnam era and creating the entire MCU, Iron Man is a perfect film. There's no fat to trim. There's nothing wrong with that first movie. Everything in that movie works.
I'm
Willie,
thinking about it.
Chris wants to know if he can talk now because apparently you told him to shut up or something.
Oh no, he can't.
Yes, Sailor Poland, it was slightly better than Dark World. Was it better than Dark World? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Chris, when have you ever started listening to me? Stop fucking talk.
It was for comedic purposes, god damn it.
It worked pretty good.
You hate pauses in this podcast.
Look at that. You got a doughboy giggle out of Willie, so apparently it was worth it.
Yeah, I hate pauses, but I have a little feature in Audacity called the truncate silence tool. I'm okay. Let's be honest though, is anyone surprised that Endgame is making all the money? There was so much hype behind it. We saw how many pre-sales there were on it. We saw how it was on pace to potentially break records in China. Really, I think the only movie that might still stay ahead of Endgame when it's all said and done is Avatar, which I still don't understand why so many people love that movie so much. But hey, more power to you if you're a fan.
Because Dances with Wolves is great. Everybody loves Fern Gully. I mean, Apocalypse Now. I mean, Heart of Darkness. I mean, oh wait, they're all the same fucking story.
Pocahontas.
Yep. But in all fairness, Avatar was the first movie fully designed to be shot and filmed in IMAX and look goddamn good in IMAX 3D, which is a lot of the money that Avatar made is because so many people saw in IMAX.
And inflation.
Yeah, true. When it came out, those IMAX tickets were what, like $18-20 a pop?
They aren't now? I don't know.
I don't know what they are now.
Oh, Sailor Poland. I don't think you're right at all. In the chat room, Sailor Poland says, all of you can blow me. Dark Phoenix is going to blow everyone away.
Dark Phoenix doesn't have enough fucking power to blow its nose.
No.
Fucking suck ass.
Hold on a second. If that movie is just okay, that's going to blow me away. So he's right, probably.
Yeah.
As long as the movie's okay, I'm like, whoa.
I'm sorry.
I need to write me in.
I don't give a shit about the one girl from Game of Thrones that I don't care about turning into the fourth version of Dark Phoenix that I don't give a shit about.
I think the one thing I enjoyed is that there's a guy I follow on Twitter who I enjoy sharing movie takes with. We don't always agree, but he quote tweeted an interview where it says director of Dark Phoenix talks about how he used his reshoots to redo the ending so it was no longer in space but on a train. And all he does is quote tweet it and write ha 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 as many characters as he can and says fuck this movie.
Nice. Yeah, because why would you want, an intergalactic being's death or end scene to be in space when it could be on a train? Ooh. What in the fuck?
Look, so let's be honest.
Snowpiercer was good.
Snowpiercer was interesting. Let's be honest. New Mutant, all right, Sailor Paul, they're apparently delaying New Mutants again. They're going to delay that forever. I don't think New Mutants.
That movie's not
coming
coming out.
Wait. I thought they just got rid of it. Isn't that something I read?
No,
I don't remember.
It did. At one point, it was completely taken off of the schedule. That is true. Fox had removed it from the movie release schedule, but then it got put back on, and then after it was put back on, it was then delayed again. So yeah, it's been delayed roughly like 5 times, I think now. And it's been removed and added back onto the Fox release schedule. But yeah, that movie's never fucking coming out.
So Sailor Poland has a buddy who saw the last test cut with the space ending, said it was really, really stupid. I guess maybe a train will make it better. I don't know. Let me be honest here. If this was an X-Men movie that looked like it was going to lead to more X-Men movies, I'd probably be more interested and I would go see it. As it is right now, I kind of looked at it and went, this sounds like something that when it goes on the cheap rental rack, that's when I'll pick it up and check it out. Because honestly, I don't care. It has no meaning in the grand scheme of things anymore. It's what they're going to use to shut the door on the mutants, aside from, say, Deadpool. Because let's be honest, they're going to keep making those movies in some way, shape, or form.
Hold on a second. So the final scene takes place on a train?
The final battle is now on a train instead of in space.
So they showed that in the damn trailer.
At least part of it.
What the fuck? This fucking company that put together this trailer is full of shit. They deserve to be fired.
The X-Men franchise is not boring to Suncast. It's just boring movies when they're done wrong.
Bryan Singer needs to not touch another goddamn X-Men movie because he just makes them worse and worse and fucking worse.
Did Bryan Singer
needs to not touch another boy is what he needs to not touch.
Yeah,
goddamn it.
Well, definitely. Yeah. I honestly don't remember who directed X-Men Dark Phoenix. I didn't think it was.
Oh, it's not. This is Bryan Singer, isn't it?
I don't know. Let's go to.
I don't know if it was Singer.
X-Men Dark Phoenix. Tell me what you know. Director is Simon Kinberg. Screenplay written by Simon Kinberg. He's producer.
Oh, Kinberg got it.
Yeah, it's Kinberg.
Well, all right, fair enough. I'm wrong. I can take it.
Singer
I
hasn't
thought
been
it was-
involved since Days of Future Past, is what Sailor
I
Paul
thought
was
he
saying.
did Apocalypse.
I
No,
don't
he did
remember.
do Apocalypse. That one I'm almost sure about.
No, that was Kinberg as well.
Oh God, really?
Yep.
Kimber needs to stop touching fucking X movies. Jesus Christ.
Well,
Oh wait, no, you're right. No, X-Men Apocalypse says it was directed by Bryan Singer, so maybe Kinberg wrote Apocalypse.
let's be honest. Nobody's going to be touching X-Men movies for probably the next 4 to 5 years, because if you're
Yeah.
Kevin Feige and you guys do Endgame, and I'm not saying anything about how Endgame ends, but it's arguably the end of Phase 3, that and Spider-Man Far From Home, they're saying. If you're
Yep.
writing up all the Phase 4 stuff, which you've probably started developing that plan years ago, and remember, they talked about the fact how James Gunn heavily contributed to the Phase 4 outline that Guardians was supposed to be a major part of before they fired him. They were going to use his script for Guardians 3, so I wager they were probably going to use a lot of what he developed for that. He's been rehired now, so arguably a lot of what Gunn helped set up is probably what Phase 4 is. Would you, as a Marvel writer and people developing Phase 4, start writing stuff to include the mutants and the Fantastic Four years ago when it wasn't even a dream that they were going to be acquired? You wouldn't. So let's be honest. It's going to be Phase 5, which is probably, 4 to 6 years from now, when we
Yep.
start talking about the fact they might start folding in mutants
years,
or the
probably.
Fantastic Four. Now, I would argue there's a line in Endgame, which we can't talk about this week, but we can talk about next week, that could theoretically be used to spark the beginning of mutants or the Fantastic Four being imbued with cosmic energy. But we can't talk about that this week. So someone remind me next week to bring up my conspiracy theory on that one.
I saw the movie. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
See, I've seen it
Wow.
twice now, so maybe that's what it is.
I
But
think it's
can-
more
can-
Swiss chocolate in me.
Kinberg's IMDb is so up and down because he was the producer on The Martian, Logan, Fantastic Four, and X-Men Days of Future Past. Those are his 4 known for. Like, what a fucking roller coaster right there.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
Sailor Paul, go ahead.
I was just saying, if they're bringing in the mutants, you have to have a hard reset. Not that, I mean, there's a hardcore fan audience that cares about the X-Men films and likes the new cast. Likes, I can't remember the fucking redhead's name, the new Gene. But like there's a small contingent of people that love the new movies. And I mean, since Days of Future Past, they haven't been bad. They just haven't been fucking great. But the hard reset's going to be you have to wait long enough to put someone else in as Wolverine to where people don't freak out because it's not Hugh Jackman. Because honestly, he's the one character from X-Men 1 all the way through the fucking last one where you always had him. We always had Hugh Jackman. And so they got to wait long enough for someone else to put some claws on and people to not freak the fuck out.
Yeah, it's going to take a bit of time. And like Sailor Paul is saying, he's been here and they won't even think about X-Men for about 5 years, which kind of jives with some interviews I'd read with Kevin
Yeah.
Feige and things like that, which is you got to let it sit. You got to make it so that when you come into it, it's fresh and people aren't going, oh, this is just a rehash of what they did in the Fox stuff. You wait 5 years, you drop what in that time? 2 Marvel movies a year, so probably 10 Marvel movies. And then you start talking about a
Yeah.
X-Men movie from Marvel, you're good to go.
Yeah,
Well-
I'm gonna believe an interview from him, seeing all these Avengers trailers that fucking lie to your face. Yeah, I'm gonna believe this fucking news article he put out. Fuck that.
Well,
They're
and what
coming
Kevin
out.
Feige will do is he'll find that person that loves the X-Men, that has a new take on them. Nobody gave a fuck about the Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, literally nobody. And the characters that are in the Guardians of the Galaxy are not the Guardians of the Galaxy from the comics at the time when the first movie came out. But when they talked to James Gunn, like he's talked about in articles and interviews, he had no idea what to do with that movie. He went in for the general meeting with Feige. They talked, and as he was driving home, like he saw the script in his head. He saw the story. He saw the characters. He went home, wrote it down, went back to Marvel and said, I have an idea. They're going to look for someone that has a take like that has a new take and a love for the X-Men. And then that's the person they're going to move forward with.
Well,
They're not just going to hand it off to fucking anybody.
There is somebody. I mean, there might be better choices, but the first one that popped in my head, the one who brought X-Men back from being a dead series to being shit to making it good, Matthew Vaughn.
Yeah, but how do you get Vaughn to come back in and have him not redo it as another version of First Class?
Well, it's not going to be in the 60s, first of all. Well, it might be. I don't know.
I'm saying, yeah, the odds of Vaughn coming back are about as high as us getting fucking
Oh, yeah.
more Charlie Cox as fucking Daredevil.
I'm just
It's
saying,
possible. It's
I
just
would like
highly
it.
unlikely.
Like I
Yeah.
said, they're probably better people, but That's just the one that sticks out in my head first.
Well,
of
and
all.
Vaughn's great. Like, he's a fantastic director. First Class is a goddamn great movie.
Kingsman,
like,
kick ass.
Yeah, he's done some really, really solid, well-designed, world-building fucking comic book movies. But the odds of him being the one they go forward with is very low. But he might be in the talks. Who knows? But yeah, Feige's going to find that person that loves the characters and has a good take on the system and the way to set up the mutants in the new MCU before he moves forward with them. We know Feige's not going to fucking risk it on anything. He's going to find who can nail it and who has a great idea.
Well, and let's be honest, there's some friends of mine I've talked to, like, man, Marvel's done so good. These 21 movies, I like most of them. There's a few that I don't like as much, but there's never really been like, I hate this. This is the worst thing I've ever seen. He's got a lot of goodwill and a lot of trust, especially from the fans. So,
yeah,
at least in my point of view, it's like, hey, Kevin Feige's running the ship still. I've got faith that it's going to be pretty good when it's all said and done. Now, what would concern me is if Kevin Feige's like, hey, I'm ready to move on to something else and picks up some other project, and then who's given the keys to the MCU?
Yeah, because eventually that will happen at some point. That'll be a scary question. But yeah, I mean, honestly, they haven't had a stinker. They haven't had a failure. The biggest risk they took was Guardians because nobody gave a fuck about those characters, and that movie did so much better than anybody ever thought it could.
Well,
like people forget that like nobody gave a fuck about those characters.
Yeah, I got scared myself personally when there were the rumors that Disney wanted Feige to take over Star Wars, because Star Wars has got a bit of a troubled, it's a bit troubled right now. And the thought was that Feige could come in and settle things down and even things out. And I was going,
yeah,
well, that's great, but I think you're making more money from Marvel, so leave him there, please.
Yeah, because I mean, the odds of being able to run both of those universes and have his toes and everything the way he apparently does, because I mean, I guess he's one of those guys that's literally on set quite often while they're working on these films. Which it's not like he's there making decisions over the director, but the fact that he's there tells you a lot about his work style.
Well, and if you're someone
who's
who's
involved,
a comic book nerd like he is, he said so himself. I mean, remember Sailor Poland said in the chat room his first gigs were on the XMen movies as a continuity expert, stuff like that. So it'd be interesting.
And too bad he couldn't get Bryan Singer to use fucking Rogue's power correctly in the first movie.
Wait, what do you mean?
When she touches Wolverine, Wolverine's wounds go backwards in time. He fought Sabretooth, got cut, healed, was completely healed, walks up to Rogue and touches her to heal her, and somehow his wounds reopen? Her power doesn't make you go backwards in fucking time. It wouldn't reopen wounds he's already healed. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
All right, let's erase this bad juju here. Let's go with some good juju.
Singer.
You know what I'm just realizing now, though? That when they do bring in X-Men, because that's just going to happen.
Yeah,
we know that's got to happen. There's no fucking question that they're not gonna do that.
They have all their toys back. Eventually, all the toys will play in the same sandbox.
Well, all but
that's
Spider-Man.
a given.
But you know what we're probably going to see? Because what Marvel and Disney have been doing, we're probably going to see the blue and yellow Wolverine suit. Oh my God, I didn't even think about that till just now.
Or the brown and black
wait
one.
to see it. Either way, I'm okay with either one. Fuck yeah, I thought I was never going to see. Like, God damn it. But now we get it. The closest we got was a fucking deleted scene in The Wolverine.
Yeah. It is possible. We might get an actual straight up classic blue and yellow or the golden tan.
Let's see Scott Summers in the fucking, the blue and yellow, the yellow fucking Batman belt.
The utility belt Cyclops.
And bandolier.
You want the Jim Lee inspired costumes for him, is what you're saying?
He wants the pockets.
All the pockets.
Oh, I can't wait for this. Oh. I will jizz all in that theater when I see that.
Yeah, well, beside that note, though, I mean, we know it's a ways off. The thing that'll be interesting in my book as we transition to some Avengers talk is what the next movies are in Phase 4, because what's been officially announced for Phase 4 at this point in time? I can't think of it.
Strange.
But there's no official announcement. We know that they've hired writers for it, but Marvel hasn't come out and said, hey, here's our Phase 4 movies.
I'm telling you right now, Strange, Black Panther, those movies made too much money for them not to do.
The only one
And
that's announced,
realistically,
the only one that's announced, I think, is the Eternals. Is that they hired Angelina Jolie for it? Other than that,
oh, that's a thing.
Other than that, what is officially out there as Marvel Phase 4 stuff? They've been quiet on purpose. And maybe I'm forgetting. I just don't remember anything that's been announced. My hope is after Spider-Man Far From Home, which they've now said is the final act of Phase 3, they can drop some of the info on what's coming for Phase 4. I mean, I'm sure, like you said, Black Panther 2, things like that are coming.
Yeah, I don't think they've officially announced dates on anything going forward because they were basically waiting for Endgame to be done.
I mean, we all figured people were going to die in Infinity War and Endgame, so you arguably can't post movies because you'd be like, hey, the same problem we had with Spider-Man. Spider-Man's dead in Infinity War, but he's got a movie after this, so yeah, we're pretty sure he's fine.
I mean, I don't think it's a spoiler saying there's probably going to be another Black Panther. I was saying that long before, after Infinity War, but just because Black Panther made so much money, they're not going to give that up.
Right.
Yeah, when it made $1 billion, that guaranteed we were getting another Black Panther. It may or may not be
Chadwick Boseman, but there will be another Black Panther movie.
Yeah, that was kind of a guarantee.
That's what I'm saying. So that's no spoilers there. Just money. Real world finance. Oh, this fuck caffeine's kicking in. Thank you guys.
Well, Willie, I'm glad that caffeine's kicking in because we have wrapped up the news of the week.
Goddamn right.
Oh, Black Widow's the next one set to begin filming, but I don't think it has a release date yet either.
No release date or anything like that. The only thing that has a release date left is Spider-Man. We don't know anything.
Is Spider-Man. Yeah, so everything else is rumors and in the pipe and in the works, but nothing else has been locked down.
Yep. So
Spider-Man's a rumor?
No, Spider-Man's the only one that's not a rumor.
You know what is a rumor? How long will Mysterio wear that fucking fishbowl helmet? I wish it was the whole goddamn movie.
No.
But no, you need to see his face. We pay for this face. Fuck off. No one cares. You know what it worked? You know when it really worked? Fucking Dread. You never saw Carl Urban's face the entirety of it for the whole movie.
Willie, this is a problem with all of the Marvel superhero films right now, and I've had this problem with Spider-Man for ages, is how often does he take off his goddamn mask?
Yeah, far too often.
Yeah,
and way too often in public.
I mean, and you can also go and look at the Marvel movies we've had, especially as Iron Man's suit evolved. It was more and more of taking off his face mask, taking off his face mask. Captain America taking off his helmet a lot of the time, stuff like that. So that's just how these things are now because they'd rather get the actors on screen versus them in a mask.
And you know when I first started pissing me off
with Caps and Stark, it doesn't matter because they're publicly known identities. Everybody knows who Steve Rogers is. With Spider-Man, it's fucking stupid because he's supposed to have a secret identity to keep his family safe. Like he's trying to hide who he is, but every time he swings into a scene, the first thing he does is take his fucking mask off.
Yeah, I mean, and the first time it really started pissing me off, when I really noticed it, Spider-Man 2, the Sam Raimi one. I was like, why do all these in the train scene when everyone sees his face? He's the older than my son. Blah, 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 blah. Fuck off. Why did you take off your fucking God?
Well, he couldn't see in that one because the mask caught on fire.
Yeah, they did give him a reason in that one. Andrew Garfield, I think, actually takes it off more than any other character. In half the scenes, there was no reason for it whatsoever.
His hair can't fit in the mask. It's so
it was a lot of hair.
I mean,
it was a lot of hair.
Yeah, I'll give that to you. Yeah, that's gotta be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Wait, I got it. Let's put Cody Goff in in a Spider-Man mask. See how let him tell us how it feels.
See if his hair suffocates him.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Sailor Poland's right too. Sailor Poland, you're correct. Also, look at the Batman movies. How many times he keeps revealing himself to people? It's just the current trend.
Yep.
The concept of a secret identity is rather dated when it comes to superhero things. That's why it was so remarkable that Iron Man 1, they're setting up all this stuff so we can have a secret identity, and it's just like, nope, F it, I am Iron Man. And you're like, okay, so this is how we're setting things up.
I just remember The Dark Knight Rises. Fucking Joseph Gordon-Levitt just says, yeah, I did like 10 minutes of research. Bruce Wayne, you're Batman. Duh.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Out of nowhere. Like, yeah, of course you're fucking Batman. Why are we still talking about this? Like, it's a question. No,
yeah, he's like, I bet you when I kid. I get it. You're Batman. No biggie.
Yeah. Secret identities are a dated thing, and especially if you think about how good things are at facial recognition and the internet for searching things. If you were a superhero in today's world, could you imagine how much harder it would be to maintain your secret identity if you wanted to try and have one?
If you're not wearing a full face mask, like you just give up. Like it's not gonna fucking work. Your jawline and your eye spacing is gonna give anybody away on facial recognition.
Unless you have like psychic powers and you're like, they make them see a different head. That'd be cool. That's what I do.
I like the way how they did it in what was it, Punisher 2099. Part of his suit was a digital overlay around his neck to whenever you see him on camera, you see a Punisher skull where his face is supposed to be. A digital skull. Just replaces his face on any camera, any device. No matter what's looking at him, you can't see him.
Kind of like a real world equivalent would be like those like from Baby Driver, those like purple LED glasses they wear for that last device.
Yeah.
Those are based on real things that will block out CCTV from seeing your face.
Yep.
Yeah,
real item.
All right, so Willie, you're caffeinated up now. You're ready, right? You're ready because I know you wanted to talk spoiler free and Endgame thoughts
if I have
earlier.
to.
Well, I mean, you're the one that was saying you wanted to give your opinion on the Endgame.
I mean, are you throwing to me first? Because you kind of guys know I'm probably the outlier in this.
Yeah, we want to hear negative Nancy first, and then we'll talk about why it's good and you're wrong.
I'm not negative Nancy. I am truthful Tom. Does that make sense?
He is wise Willie.
Ooh,
no, he's
you
definitely not
beautiful
that.
motherfucker! God damn,
it.
I'd kiss you if you were right here. God damn it, Chris.
That's the episode title. He is wise Willie.
Oh no.
God. All right, so you want to hear? So basically, the way I feel about this movie is, if it was a scale for like the first 2/3 of the movie and the last third heavy, and then boom, the whole first 2/3. Even though there's stuff happening that are like for the plot, it all feels like fluff for the last third of the movie. Like they could have went straight to that last third. I would have been A-okay with all that other stuff. Like, it's whatever. It's just fluff. It just felt like so much
I can't
fluff.
share with you why the first 2/3. I understand your viewpoint on it. I can't share with you why I think it was a good idea until we get into when we can talk spoilers.
It just went on for too long, I thought.
I understand the concern there. Yes, the back third is very much loaded. Like, if you need an idea of when to take your pee break, don't do it in the last third of the movie if you have to go and pee during it.
Or just fucking hold it. You're an adult.
Well, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in that last hour of the movie. You don't want to get up out of your seat. Like, there's a person that got up out of their seat when one of the very big things happens in Act 3. And I can't talk about it because no spoilers, but
is it the one where all my theaters started clapping and cheering?
No, it is not that.
Okay, so I'm thinking you probably know exactly what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what part
Bachman did.
It's a part where people cry, and that's all I'm going to say about it because I can't say anything else without getting into spoilers. But this person got up and went to the bathroom right before that happened and came back right after, and I was like, oh, you poor bastard right there.
That dumbass got to pay to see it again.
Well, hold on a second. Was this the first showing?
This
was the theater?
No, this was the second time I went, which was yesterday afternoon.
Oh, so maybe he had already seen it like before, like you did. He just like really had to go.
It is possible, but that is not a point I would want to get up. But I understand your criticism, and I think it's valid to say that there's a lot more action, a lot of things going on in the back third. I think the front 2/3 of the movie are a lot more character focused, which
even
is arguably something people had issues with Infinity War, is they didn't get a lot of those cool character moments. So you get the character moments in Endgame. Endgame's until the final act is not really an action-packed movie. It's these characters interacting, they're trying to solve a problem. There's a heist element to it.
I will say that looking back on Infinity War, of course, a year later, that movie was very like from point A to point B is the entire movie. Like, is constantly moving. It all takes place boom, 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 boom. And looking back, I kind of like that idea.
Well, let's be honest.
It was very streamlined.
Infinity War is the first act of Endgame, is basically what it comes down to.
Yeah,
sure.
No, I mean, it really is. And just side note right now, updated numbers on Endgame as we're talking about this: $1.2 billion worldwide, 350 million US, 330 million in China.
Jesus Christ, it's making all the money.
Yeah.
How do you have $1 billion opening weekend?
$1.2 billion opening weekend.
That's
worldwide.
Insane.
Domestic is only 350 million.
Yeah.
All right, so
you know what these numbers are? You know what these numbers are? These numbers are what Batman versus Superman would have been if it had been done right. That's what these numbers are.
Is it? I'll hold this off for next week. I was gonna say something. Let's just hold it off.
Sailor Paul, and I see the comments you're saying in the chat room. I agree. I don't want to talk about them just because I'm trying very hard to not accidentally drop a spoiler. You did a very good job in what you're saying in your comments, but I'm afraid that I would accidentally spoil because how do I put this? Well, I went and saw it Thursday at 6 p.m. was my first showing. I went to go see it. I went to work the next day and people were like, how was the movie? I said, it was really good. It's a spectacle that I don't think we'll ever get again because I don't know how they'll recreate that feeling of 21 movies lead up to this. I have no idea what's going to happen. And the movie kind of defied my predictions for a lot of what was going to happen. I thought I had a good idea. I got a couple of things right, but in the grand scheme of things, I'm like, I was not expecting that. And it was great. And I'm glad I knew nothing going in about that movie because I think it made the experience that much more enjoyable because I was like, holy crap, they just did that. I didn't even think about that being a possibility. And I think knowing some of those twists and knowing some of why they set things up the way they did, I don't think it would lessen I don't think it would make the movie worse, but I think it would lessen your experience because
Go ahead. I can see one thing topping this. Because if you think about Secret Wars, which one that happened in the 80s where Spider-Man gets his black suit? Was that War or War?
That was Secret Wars 2.
War.
Yeah.
All right. We can do that where they all get pulled over. And if anyone has died in this movie, they can possibly come back because they can just pull like, I want this hero from this time, this bloop, bloop, and all these villains right here, and they're going to fight against each other.
If you introduce the Beyonder,
that could top it. To bring certain elements back from previous movies.
I guess technically, if you have the Beyonder, he can do anything. He has unlimited power. You could use him to make a Secret Wars crossover movie. That'd be about the only way you'd have more characters in this. But yeah, it's possible. I do love the fact that, honestly, when you look at it, this whole 22 films that's going to be coming out in a Blu-ray box set called the Infinity Saga is a giant lead up to one summer crossover comic book that was 6 issues back in the 90s. Like, the fact that this is one event. All of these movies led to one comic book event. Marvel's done one almost every summer for 30 years. And some of them are good, some of them are bad, but they've got 30 years worth of them that they can do. And that's fucking insane.
Well, to be fair, it all led to it, but I mean, all the movies did have their individual stories.
Oh, no, yeah, they had their stories, but they all had the backdrop of building up to what because now they're calling this they're calling phases 1 through 3 the Infinity Saga. Because it all started with fucking Thanos.
What happened to Winter Soldier that led to it?
You got Bucky.
Which leads to the breakup of the Avengers, basically.
Yeah, which leads to Civil War.
Well, would that really change anything from Infinity War from Thanos coming in?
Well, you had Steve and Tony not fighting on the same planet when they first faced Thanos.
Yeah, I'll give that to you. You know what?
The Avengers weren't together, so it affected it. Maybe not hugely, but it definitely affected it.
I mean, but also you could have wrote off that Iron Man was at New York and Captain America could have been somewhere else in Infinity War, and so so he went into this space and Captain. You could have wrote it like that as well. So I still see your point. You have a valid point.
It would be awesome if they did a lead up to building up the whole world again with new actors, and then lead everything into a Secret Wars with the fucking Beyonder bringing in the FF
everybody
and
just
the mutants. Everybody. Yeah, and everybody, all the Marvel toys, and they make them all fight, and then everything resets at the end again. Like, that would be a fantastic way to do it. Because once again, the Beyonder has unlimited power, so they could do a reset at the end of Phase 6 and restart Phase 7 with whoever they want in whatever franchise they want, and they could reset the entire universe again. Like, it would be amazing. They could literally do 22 films leading up to Secret Wars, and then restart the whole fucking thing again. Like, it'd be fantastic.
I really wish we could have had a phase where it was just the whole phase was just building up to World War Hulk, but can't have that.
All right, guys. So I have to agree with Sailor Poland here, who says, you know what? Screw no spoilers. Seeing the Thanos copter is worth the price of admission alone. It was pretty fantastic seeing the Thanos copter.
All right, you know what? I'm going to say fuck off with that joke because I don't see people were yelling for riot if we don't get a Thanos copter. And fuck your spoiler. There was no fucking Thanos copter.
Honestly,
where are these people that are rioting? Where is that happening?
The best thing I saw was Mark Bernardin reposted someone's tweet on Instagram that said their favorite part of Endgame was when Pepper Potts got all the Infinity Stones and shoved them in her vagina and went to sleep, as it was a way for a wellness. And he retweeted that and said, "Goop, there it is."
Fuck that bitch. I'm saying that because fuck Goop. Fuck her. She go to hell. Wish she wasn't even in the goddamn movie.
Yep, it was just like Inspector Gadget's chopper, but it's purple because it's Thanos.
It's the Thanos copter. No, the Thanos copter meme
Wait,
thing took
Inspector
off.
Gadget
Was just
didn't
hilarious.
Inspector Gadget have his helicopter coming out of his hat?
He had one of
Yeah.
those too.
What, Thanos did?
Well, I meant, yeah, sure. Thanos wore a
He wait.
hat. He stole Inspector Gadget's hat after he went.
And
then he
also
wore
thought,
it.
I thought his car just turned into like a flying car. Didn't that
No,
something
it turned into a
boat?
minivan or like a sedan, basically.
Did it turn into a boat as well?
That was
I don't
Dr.
fucking
Claw.
remember.
That was Dr. Claw, whose car turned into a boat. Jeez, Willie. Jeez.
Man, you're asking me to remember shit, man. We already established it. My memory's fucking terrible. I don't care how much caffeine's in me. My memory's not going to get any better.
I forgot it. The other good meme was the one about Ant-Man killing Thanos by going up his butt and expanding. That one just
Alright,
took on a life of its own until you actually
Yeah,
had
it
people
did.
trying to figure out the physics of it and go, "This is impossible."
I did love the fact though with the Google thing, where you went and typed Thanos whatever, and it actually snapped Google to where when you looked at it, like stuff would disappear.
You click
Like
on the
Josh
gauntlet.
Josh Brolin did it and put it up on his Instagram. I love the fact that Josh Brolin.
Wait, he
is
programmed
just-
it?
No, you know what I fucking mean, you jackass. But yeah, the fact that Brolin is just so like in, he's like 100% in for being the characters he's playing and having fun with it. It's so fucking cool. He also did a big post on his Instagram basically saying, all these, over 10 years worth of work, hundreds of thousands of people working on these films. And if you fucking spoiled it, you're basically a douchebag. Like don't
that
be a
football
shithead.
guy.
Yeah, like fuck that football guy. Don't be a piece of shit. Don't ruin the movie for other people.
Man,
Like-
people were wanting him to get fired from the NFL.
Well, they fired people for fucking less shit, so. But yeah, Brolin's been awesome. If you're not following him on Instagram, you're missing out because they're off shooting a Dune right now, and some of the videos he posts and some of the stuff he talks about on his Instagram are just fantastic. That guy is he's just a really great guy.
Oh, this is really cool. I don't know how I just found out about this, but there is a Twitter account at Marvel Props where the official prop master for the Marvel movies is up there and just sharing pictures of different props they've built and stuff.
Nice.
It just happened upon it on Twitter when I was over there. I was like, God damn, this is amazing. I should have been following him.
Would it be a spoiler if we talk about a character that should have been in the movie, a very minor character? It's like an afterthought of a character
Ant-Man.
for the Marvel movies. No.
Just
She
kidding.
may or may not be in the movie, but no, I'm talking about one Howard T. Duck. He should have been the one that ended the whole thing. He
Or-
should have got the thing and said, "Quack foo, bitches."
Poor Seth Green. No Endgame money for him.
Yeah, that was an oversight and a half. Fuck you, Russo brothers.
Whoa!
Jesus, that escalated quickly.
Praise James Gunn, who had the fucking balls to put Howard the Duck in not one, but two Guardian movies. Oh, Jesus. And that was the Howard the Duck. That was not some fucking fucking costume or anything. That was Howard the Duck acting like Howard the Duck. With a fucking drink and a stogie. Did he ever have a stogie in those? Didn't he light up one? Did he have a cigar in the two?
I think one of them he was smoking.
I know he had a martini glass in one in the end of the first Guardians.
The fact that fucking he's like in continuity in the films is insane. Fucking Howard the Duck.
Goddamn right. Yeah. Is that really a spoiler? He's not in it.
I don't think so.
Should have fucking been.
Like we got movies now. We got an actual live action Howard the Duck that wasn't a comedy, and we also got fucking Peter Porker in a film.
Hey, Howard,
Like,
Willie,
it's insane.
check your messages. I just sent you something
Will do. I don't know if I need to talk anymore.
that I pulled from an article that might interest you. I'll
let
give
me
you the link
see.
to the article too.
That's awesome. Oh, it's a crazy world we
Wait,
live
what?
in. Yeah, like whoever thought we would see this shit? Like it's insane.
Yeah, the basic conceit of
Is
the
that
whole thing
true?
is, I haven't confirmed it myself, Willie, and we'll have to talk about it next week.
Yep. Next week we will talk all the spoilers. Next week is just going to be Endgame talk for 2 hours.
I don't know about that long.
I don't know about that.
There won't be any news.
Jinx. Oh, god damn it. I clicked on the article, and of course, I scrolled down a little bit and said, during an appearance on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert in 2018, all of a sudden I see the name Gwyneth Paltrow. I don't care about this article. Fuck this article.
He's
Fuck
done.
Gwyneth Paltrow. Goop her fucking asshole shut for all I give a goddamn. Take your NASA fucking stickers and fuck off.
Well, I have no way to continue this Avengers Endgame talk, as he has summed it up quite well with that statement. So I do like
Gwyneth Paltrow is a real see you next Tuesday.
Oh.
Wow. So Willie, thank you for sharing that with us, and I do hope you're prepared to share some other stuff with us.
She
in a second,
ruined
because
people's lives.
I
so
would
fuck her.
I would like to remind folks that the All Things
Thank
Good
you.
Nerdy
Yeah.
podcast is in fact part of a network of shows that you can find over at GonnaGeek.com, where we've got 20 plus different shows in the network that cover a variety of topics. Before we get to Willie talking the promo read, I would like to mention this though. If you want to have a spoiler-filled discussion on Avengers Endgame, I do believe Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. is recording tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern over on Geeks.live. So you can go and catch the live show there, participate in their chat room, and get a spoiler-filled discussion with the Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. crew. So you can go check that out, Geeks.live, 6 p.m. tonight. So that is April 28th. So Willie, we like to talk about other shows in the network. What show do we want to talk about this week?
Well, to be fair, when you started this off, I thought you were going to say send your hate mail to. Which, I mean, yeah. To be fair, Gwyneth Paltrow ruins fucking lives by giving people hope with this fucking goop and stickers. Fuck her. I think I'm all entitled to say this. But, you know who is awesome and not a fucking shithead? The people at Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D., a Marvel Comic Universe podcast. They're fucking great. God damn, they're fucking legends. I'm talking about episode number 278. God damn, they're on up there. Congratulations. I love these guys. They're talking about Runaways. Tsunami. I was going to make it. The Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. director, SP, Agent Haley, and Agent Lauren. God, I love them so much. Discuss the Runaway series 8th episode, Tsunami, as well as the weekly Marvel news and listener feedback. The agents debrief you on Tsunami as a text emergency word, the true status of Victor at the end of the episode, the Survival Tribunal entertainment, Amy's final hours. My eyes are bad right now. If the videos Alex decrypted are really lost, if all the Runaways have superpowers, and Lauren wants to touch Captain Marvel. Well, I mean, don't we all? Don't we all want to touch Captain Marvel? Just fucking do a high five or a good old elbow. Yeah, everyone loves it.
That's not how I want to touch her.
Chris,
Don't be gross.
I think you can hit a button from something I say, but have it apply to Bachman over here.
This guy's creepy.
I would totally get creepy with Brie Larson.
This guy's creepy.
All right there, Brian Singer.
Sorry, that was funny.
Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. Gwyneth Paltrow all the way down to hell. See, they're up here. Gwyneth Paltrow's down to the what's that trench called? The
Marianas Trench.
Yeah, that thing. They're all the way down there. Or she's all the way down there. Fuck her. Back to you, Chris.
Why, thank you, Willie. I was waiting. I'm not allowed to talk until you say the "back to you, Chris" line, or I get yelled at.
Well, I mean, I had to give it I thought to give like a show baby, so I gave it a pregnant pause.
I see what you did there. Well done, I guess.
Blurp.
Blurb.
He's Howard the Duck. Woo!
All right, so looking at the time, it is time for us to start shutting this thing down, and we have run a little late today, so we'll probably try and do it a little quicker. How we wrap things up is a little segment called What I'm Into, which is our chance to share with you guys who are watching live or listening at a later date just what kind of geeky and or nerdy things we've been getting into, so that maybe, just maybe, you'll want to check them out yourselves. I'll kick things off first. I saw Endgame twice. I went to a bar called the Fallout Shelter last night and played pinball and pool with one of my buddies after we saw Endgame, and it was fun.
Oh, how did you see it? Regular theater, IMAX?
I don't.
3D?
It's only regular theaters I have here, so regular.
No,
I have
they
no
don't have-
D box. I guess I could have gone to 3D, but it's not worth it.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
I didn't see it in 3D. Fucking.
No, I only have your traditional theaters here. They are, however, renovating our AMC theater, and if it follows AMC's renovation plans they share on their website, that means they'll start getting like the reserved seating and the recliners and stuff in there. And if they do that, I'll probably pick up the AMC Movie Pass version.
Wait, you didn't have reserved seating?
We don't have reserved seating either now.
I love that. Even it doesn't even matter in my theaters, but they still have it. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Oh, reserve seating. Like, oh god, I gotta get there early. Because no, fuck it. My seat's already gotten.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wish that we had that for here. We do not. My hope is when they get the renovations done in our AMC theater, we do have reserved seating, so then I don't have to worry near as much on any of that other stuff. What other stuff have I been getting into? Played a little Final Fantasy VII on the Switch, and then just getting caught up on some TV shows and stuff. The season finale of The Orville was on this week. Damn good. I really hope they get a third season because The Orville started out a little shaky, I thought, in the beginning of season 2, came on strong in the back half of season 2, and it's a really good show. I've really enjoyed it. But that's all I've really been getting into. Bachman, how about you?
Played a little Dead by Daylight, played some Apex Legends. I think I finally I got level 100 last night on the Battle Pass for Apex Legends. Been playing some Anthem, which they did some updates and added some really cool features. And when they did that, they also broke the fuck out of a lot of the items in game.
Sounds
now all the masterwork and legendary items, all the components, each one used to add 8 to 10,000 armor and shield per item, and now they each add 100. So literally, I went in my Ranger, hopped out into free play, and had not noticed that yet, and jumped into the middle of a fight, and on Grandmaster 1, where I can usually ignore enemies now, I can basically just not even look at them. If there's 10 or less, they can't even drop my shields. I jumped into a fight in between 4 scars and they melted me because I had no fucking armor. So yeah, so it's fucking BioWare EA. It's one step forward, 2 steps back every time they make an adjustment. They just had another awful fucking live stream where shit was not working on the live stream. The last live stream was delayed because there was a power outage in the city they're in, so it was delayed by a week. They're just having so many problems with Anthem. It's so sad because honestly it's still a super fucking fun game. I'm still enjoying playing it, but it's so problematic. I've done the new Stronghold one time so far. The day it came out, I logged in, went to go try it, and the crazy thing was I queued up for the Stronghold, and Strongholds you can't go in as private, you have to go in public. So there's usually at least 2, 3, or 4 people in there with you. I did the whole Stronghold by myself. I was solo. I went in and nobody else queued at the same time that I went into the Stronghold, so I got to do the whole new Stronghold all by myself on normal. And because I went on normal and it wasn't too crazy, it actually wasn't bad, and I was able to finish it. And the new Stronghold is gorgeous. The design on it is great. It's this giant vertical, basically aquarium. There's a whole bunch of just water levels, a bunch of different puzzles to figure out to get yourself to move forward to the next step. And then the end boss is actually kind of cool. And it takes place in basically a giant ocean aquarium scene that was really cool looking. But yeah, saw Endgame on Friday. Of course, the 54th movie in my movie streak. So keeping that going. And then
how'd you see it?
Giant screen VIP. I had one of the last seats available. The day the tickets went on sale, they were all sold out.
Is it IMAX? You said giant screen?
No, giant screen, but not IMAX. Yeah, I never, especially first viewing, I'll never go IMAX. I don't want to. I have to use a set of contacts every time I go see an IMAX because I can't do glasses over glasses.
That's more unfair. Wait. You mean 3D?
Well, yeah, because IMAX is always 3D. So
no, it's not.
It is here.
That's fair. I did not know that.
Yeah, because we only have one IMAX screen, we have one IMAX that I think has 3 screens where we are in Boise. So yeah, I think they're always 3D. I've never been to one where you didn't have to wear the 3D glasses. So I think all the showings they do there are IMAX 3D, at least for these movies. But yeah, I always go just regular 2D. But yeah, I saw it on the big screen and loved it. Didn't have to get up and leave. I made sure like I left work and I didn't drink anything for like the hour prior to leaving work. So by the time I got to the theater, I could sit and enjoy my soda and know that I wasn't going to have to run out of the theater anytime during the 3 hours. And yeah, I made it to 3 hours, no problem. Like until like halfway through the credits, I didn't even feel the need to get up and leave. Like the 3 hours went by way faster than I thought it was going to. And just, yeah, I absolutely loved it. And then I finished reading the second Hunger Games book. I finally went back to reading those. So I finished reading Catching Fire. So then yesterday I rewatched, I finished my rewatch of the first Hunger Games movie and watched the second one. Fucking forgot how entertaining those movies were. They were really well done. And then I'm back on watching Sabrina Teenage Witch season 2. I'm like 4 episodes in the second season. And that show's still just crazy, crazy fun. And I love fucking Aunt Hilda. Fucking, she's the best. Yeah, that's what I'm getting into.
So Willie, finish things up for us. What are you getting into, sir?
Well, I guess I'll first say I did go see Avengers Endgame in 2D IMAX.
Ooh.
Yeah, because they use the same screen, but I guess they alternated 2D or 3D then 2D and back and forth. Because I think the first showing of Friday was 3D at like 12 something, I think, and then my showing at 3 o'clock was 2D. And I think they went back and forth with that, but so I got lucky. And if I do go see it again, which is more than likely, I'll probably go see it in D-Box.
Nice.
I mean, that's just fun. Why, if you have the option, why the fuck wouldn't you? And then I saw 2 other movies this week. One was Upgrade. That movie was shot so fucking good. The choices they made with some of the scenes, like how they filmed it, were fucking amazing. Like this one was in the trailer. It was like a little quick bit where he's like he's laying on the ground. He's telling the chip like permission granted. And all of a sudden he throws his elbow, like his arms down, and he just stands up vertically. The camera was like with him, like, you know, the top of the screen, you know, it was like that. And as he got up, it just rotated with him. I was like, oh my God, that was fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, it was a tracking shot done extremely well.
Oh yeah, and that happens a couple other times, like similar style. Oh, it was so good. And another one I saw that Chris, you asked me what I would thought about it, and I saw Sorry to Bother You. You asked me, did I see the twist coming?
Yes.
I'm not sure which one. There's one or two things that you could be talking about. Is it the first like twist, like what, or the second one, like the very end?
I was meaning the first one.
Yeah, there's no way you could fucking tell there's horse people in there.
Hey, don't spoil the damn movie.
Oh, that's not. It's been out for how long?
So I haven't seen it.
Did you have any interest?
Yeah, I actually do want to see it eventually.
Did you not ever go see it yet?
Because you know how many goddamn movies there are. Chris hasn't seen The Fifth Element, and you're giving me shit about Sorry to Bother You. That's been out for 2 weeks.
Don't drag me into your debate here.
I think we have given Chris enough shit on that.
Oh yeah.
You know, he deserved all of it. Not gonna lie, he deserves, and even deserves more. But I think me and you, have given him enough. Let other people take it over. Rocky, if you're listening, start getting on to him about that, because there you go. He might listen to you. But yeah, so Sorry to Bother You. Saw that. Yeah, that movie I knew it was gonna be a little weird, but that one was weird. It's very abstract is the way to go. It's a very abstract storyline. And then I also got a couple of things, some movies, or not movies, but not also to give all away.
Well, Upgrade doesn't have a twist so much as a turn, but did you see the turn coming at the end of Upgrade?
No, not the way it went. Not at all.
Yeah, see, I like how that one was written, because it's not designed for you to see it coming, but it's not the ooh, we did a Shyamalan twist. It's just, oh fuck, this is what's actually happening.
I like what's going on, but I was not going to come up with that particular.
Yeah. I like how they wrote it in that one. It was good writing.
So a couple of movies I got replicas, which I never really heard of, starring Keanu Reeves. It came out, I guess, earlier this year. I guess it was a straight to Blu-ray or something.
Is that the one where he makes clones of his family because they died?
Yeah, something about that, but he can only replicate 3 of the 4 family members. I'm just reading off the back. I'm not giving spoilers. Yeah, 3 of the 4 family members. He makes a decision with fateful consequences. Like, I don't know. It has Thomas Middleditch.
Fateful consequences.
Yeah, I remember seeing the trailer for that.
I still haven't even seen the trailer, so I'm just going to it fully blind. 'Cause I never even heard of it. I was just at Best Buy. I was like, never heard of this. Thomas Middleditch is in this too? All right, I'll give this a try. And then one I've been on the fence about getting, but I was like, you know what, fuck it. If I'm going to get it, I might as well get it now and watch it at some point in time. Overlord.
That's a good movie. It's fucking weird.
Like, this was supposed to be another Cloverfield movie, right? It was originally supposed to be, and they made it not, right? I
don't know.
Anyway,
I know it's good though. It's fucking creepy. You got a mix of fucking you got Nazis, you got World War II, you got which one is it? Fucking
I haven't seen it yet.
You got Leopold from fucking Shield, Agents of Shield's on it. Fitz
What?
is in it.
Fitz is in it.
Fitz is in it. He's great.
Bastard.
Yeah, there's some good acting in it. And yeah, it's definitely one of those ones, like, if you watch the preview, they made it look way more like a horror film than it is, but it really is a war movie that has horror aspects in it, which it's done really well.
That's what was pushing me away from it, because people were saying it's more of a war movie, and I'm not particular one for war movies.
Oh, I think you'll like this one because it's another one of those ones where I think JJ produced it. I don't think he directed this one, but yeah, he had his hands in it enough to where, like, it feels like a JJ film, but it's done really well.
It's on the front, from producer JJ Abrams.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was good stuff. Because yeah, it's not what you think it's gonna be when you start watching it. You're like, what in the fuck is going on here?
And then I also got Ash versus Evil Dead, the complete series.
Nice.
Seasons 1 through 3.
It's not nice, it's groovy.
And then what came with it though was something that I was like, all right, I got it. It was a bobblehead of Bruce Campbell, even though the bobbleheads kind of didn't really bobble all that well.
Nice.
Turn that back. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, the bobblehead's kind of shitty quality, but what am I gonna do about it? And then also the big thing, I wasn't even thinking about getting this because I'm never really one to get stuff like this. But
Condoms?
I saw it went on sale. I was like, all right, that was not enough to get me to buy it. But then I saw comes with digital copies or digital codes for all of it. I was like, okay, you got me now. So I got seasons 1 through 7 of Game of Thrones. This big old fucking block. I can't even hold it up properly because it wants to slide out. Yeah. So I got some Game of Thrones in the do. Oh my god, tonight who's gonna die? Probably a lot of people are gonna die.
So you already started your rewatch?
No. I'm talking about tonight's episode.
Oh, the new episode?
Yeah, probably a lot of people are gonna die. Yeah. Oh, that's a spoiler for Game of Thrones. People are gonna die.
That's definitely not a spoiler.
People die in Game of Thrones.
That's gonna be a fun one once it's done and you have the 8 seasons. Like, that's gonna be a fun one to rewatch every once in a while because, god damn, that is such a well-made show.
Like I said, I was up in the air because I did like, why not just wait till season 8 comes out and they'll probably have one gigantic whole thing.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, the sale on top of digital codes, those combined made me overlook and said, you know what? I don't fucking care. I'll just get them separately.
If you just want the digital codes, why don't you just send me the disc then if you're not going to use them?
Well, I might go to someone's house, something like that. So I do have use, physical movies. I have all my physical movies over there, Blu-ray and 4K. My DVDs over here, which, man, looking back, I had a weird taste in fucking movies. I even have fucking Suburban Commando on DVD.
Wow.
I was frozen today. Oh, Christopher Lloyd. Yeah. I even have Toxic Avenger. That's a weird taste.
Oh, wow. Because, on Amazon, they have the complete collector set Game of Thrones seasons 1 through 8, not released yet, but the pre-order is on sale for $250.
Wow, I got this for 112.
Yeah, so you got half price. You got the first 7 seasons, so that's $150 for one season.
Yep. I'm all right with not waiting for that then.
Yeah,
well,
there you
Willie,
go.
we look forward to you consuming more Game of Thrones and then starting your own podcast where Willie talks Thrones or something like that.
Oh, and also, you know what I really want to see?
Titties?
Everyone.
That's why he got Game of Thrones. Yeah.
Sorry, that was inappropriate. I apologize. But
Everyone
please continue.
No, that show's got some great titties.
No. I want to see fucking Howard the Duck and Rocket Raccoon get their own like movie or TV show where they go off on an adventure.
Hey, man, Disney Plus makes any of that possible.
That's true.
Why they fucking get their head up out of their ass, because I'm pretty sure Disney does not like Howard the Duck being in the Marvel universe, cinematic universe. Because remember, they sued Marvel back in the 70s because they said Howard the Duck looks way too closely like Donald Duck.
If they didn't like it, he wouldn't have been in Guardians of the Galaxy.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe James can kind of slid him in there.
Sailor Poland says Disney has a Howard the Duck TV show in development for Disney Plus.
Right. You know?
Say again, sorry?
It isn't just like a cartoon, or is it live action?
I don't remember.
Well, throw Rocket Raccoon in there.
Well,
Just
maybe they will.
Yeah,
Who
maybe Rocket
knows?
shows up. It's possible.
That would be fun. Wouldn't it be fun?
It would be delightful.
Let us have some fun.
We're going to have some fun. We hope that you all had some fun today, too, as you joined us for this latest episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast.
Yeah, I'm sorry this episode was more heavy-ended on the backside because of my caffeine spike.
Please don't forget, we stream this live every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over on Geeks.live. That is the official streaming home of the Gonna Geek Network. Before we shut this thing down, you guys have any parting thoughts for us? Anything?
Go see Endgame in the theater as soon as you can.
Oh yeah, or be prepared to get spoiled. It looks like on Reddit
Yeah.
they've kind of lightened up on the spoilers.
Well,
Like all that stuff, they allow them on there. They don't take them down, but they have spoiler tag on it.
Yeah.
So-
the mods have been working really hard there, so credit to them for keeping it from getting too bad.
Oh yeah, I think today on or even yesterday, I think it's okay to have that where if you see spoiler, if you haven't seen it, don't see it. But I think
Yeah,
it's
just
all
don't click it.
on there. Yeah.
They've been doing a real good job of policing people who are trying to troll by just dropping spoilers in random threads, though. So kudos to them.
And you know what the moral of this episode was, Chris?
What's that, Wise Willie?
Fuck Gwyneth Paltrow and fuck what's that guy's name? LaShawn
McCoy.
Fuck both those assholes.
Yep.
Well, Willie, you're entitled to your opinion, so kudos to you for having it. And to all of those of you that watched live or listened later date, thank you so much, and please come and join us next week for another new episode. Thanks for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, channel 3 of the Alpha Geek radio app, and over at our network home at gonnageek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us atgnpodcast@gonnageek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGN Podcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com.